Hey everybody, I'm going to tell you a little story about back in 2005, man. I was working for a company called PFC Roberson. Maybe it was 2004. I'd worked for him for a while, you know, for a couple years. Anyways, I was on home time in Indiana, and my friend's little brother just turned 18. He wanted to go on a little adventure, you know. He'd never been nowhere because they were kind of poor, didn't have no money, you know. I said, yeah, come along, you know, I'll pay for everything, right? So we ended up getting a load going out to LA. So there we went, trucking along, man, up I-74 across Illinois, got into Des Moines, Iowa, and then all of a sudden, boom, turkey flies out of the damn ditch, and we just plow head on. Bam! I mean, bam! It hit hard. And then it flying over and hitting the car next to us, the turkey, not us. Pretty much exploded all over the damn car next to us. That ain't my problem though. I got shit to do. So I kept cruising, man. Stopped at the rest area west of Des Moines. Check see what kind of damage there was, and ended up tearing the whole grill out, man. I had no grill left. The headlight wasn't doing very good. It was still working, but it was busted and cracked around the side, you know, what held it in. So I put some duct tape on and kept on trucking, you know. That's how I did it, right? So we ended up trucking all the way to Wyoming, man, before we went to sleep. Slept a couple hours, got up, man, redid the logs, because back then, you know, you could do at least sleep logs. Ain't nobody tracking you. Didn't know GPS tracking on the truck. I mean, hell, the company I worked for didn't even know where the hell I was at unless I called them. They didn't know. So we ended up making it the next night all the way out to Las Vegas, Nevada. We ended up sleeping in the truck that night, and the next day we took the truck over to Freightliner in Las Vegas to get the grill replaced and something else fixed on it. So they ended up putting us in a room for the night. Well, the next day I checked out the room thinking the truck's going to be fixed. Nope, they hadn't even looked at it. They said, we're trying to get a hold of your company. They can authorize us to look at it. I said, all right. So it might be another day. I said, okay. So I called back my company and said, hey, I need to get another room for the night. I said, no, we can't do that. We're not going to give you a room. I said, what am I going to do? Where am I going to sleep? I said, I need some money, man. I don't have no money. I need cash advance on my check or something. No, man, can't do it. Can't do it. All right. So, you know, me and my buddy, we didn't have no choice. We couldn't just walk away from the job, you know. So we ended up walking all the way down the Flying J. It's like 2 or 3 miles. I can't remember, man. It's not a Flying J anymore. It's something different now. But we ended up walking down there. We'd spend the whole entire day at the Flying J sleeping in the air-conditioned driver's lounge, watching. Because, I mean, you go into, I don't know how it is now, but back then, you go into every Flying J you went into was playing fucking Law and Order, man. Boom, 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 you know. That shit'll put you to sleep, man. So we would sleep all day long, most of the day. You know, we'd just drink water out of the water fountain and just sleep all day. And then when it came, you know, 5, 6 o'clock at night, we'd make our way all the way back up to the Pilot truck stop, across from Freightliner. We ended up going in there. We'd change the trash on the lot, all the way around the lot, all the trash in the fuel wagon, refuel the buckets to get washer fluid, you know, for drivers. And then the lady would give us unlimited fountain drinks all night, and end up like hot, you know, gas station hot dogs, little nachos and stuff you could make. So that's what we would do all night long. And then when daylight started to come around, right when it started to get daylight, we'd head back down Flying J before the heat hit, you know. And that's what we did for like a week and a half straight, man, until they finally fixed my truck. And I ended up getting the truck back, going back over the Pilot, hooking up to the trailer. And all of a sudden this dude pulls up and he's like, hey, you need a job? And I says, wait, what? I said, you need a job? I said, no, I got a job. I said, you ain't got no fucking job. I said, you got a job. My truck's right here. He said, you don't have a job, man. He said, PFT Roberson went out of business, man. They shut their doors. I said, oh, that's why maybe it took so long to get fixed. That's why they weren't giving me no room, giving me no money. So I was like, well, shit, what am I going to do? So the guy says, hey, I tell you what, man, I know this dude. He can hook you up, man, run one of his loads. I said, all right, cool. So I ended up taking the load that I had. I ran it all the way back down to LA and delivered it because, you know, it wasn't the broker's fault or the person's fault that, you know, we got the load from. You know, it wasn't their fault. PFT. A lot of people got fucked over when that happened. So I ended up taking that load down. He did give us like $200, I think, on a comm check for delivering the load, you know, which I was grateful. And then I ended up having the fuel because before I took the truck in the shop in Vegas, I'd fueled the truck all the way up, so it's not that far to LA. So I ended up driving all the way over somewhere in Arizona, southern Arizona, and picked up a load. And that's where I met my friend Hippie Dude. That's why I call him Hippie Dude, from Ohio. I'm still friends with him today. Talk to him almost every day. But yeah, that's where I met him at, man. He worked at PFT Roberson, so he didn't know what was going on either. So I pretty much ended up telling him what was going on. So we ended up getting loaded, tarping our loads down there, and then we trucked on over to Illinois, deliver our loads. So we ended up, sorry, I started thinking about something else here for a second. But we ended up, anyways, we delivered our loads in Illinois and ended up going back to the yard, dropping our trucks, our equipment. And then I had a van sitting there, and I can't remember, I think I gave him a ride back to Ohio or something, I can't remember. But ended up starting Salmon Trucking next week. But talk about, it was an adventure, man. That was an adventure. I look back at it now. At the time, it sucked ass, you know what I mean? Walking around all day, man. I mean, it sucked, man. It really fucking sucked. Would I want to do it again? Probably not, no. Nah, I wouldn't really want to do that again now, but then I think about experiences like that, things that's happened in my life, and I think, you know, that's what made my life, man. We're living life to the fullest, man. You know, back then, when you'd stop for the night, I mean, there wasn't anything to do. You didn't have TV in your truck, couldn't watch YouTube on your phone or anything. You didn't have no smartphone. All I had was a Verizon flip phone. You know what I mean? But yeah, we would, man, most of the time we wouldn't even stay at truck stops. Stop at a rest area or pull off some exit ramp in the desert, man, and just kind of relax, man. Be out there in peace and quiet. You know, a lot of staring at the sky, staring at the land. Wasn't really a lot to do, but it was fun. It was cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed my story, and like I said, I'll got plenty more stories, man, so I'll try to throw another story on here from time to time. You guys take it easy, man. Have a good one.